Good morning, friends. How are we doing today?
Good morning, my name is Paul and
I am Elias.
we are brothers on fire. How are we? We're bringing you a program that is above all instructional. We're going to teach you how to prepare sourdough starter. You're going to learn the techniques. Besides the sourdough teaching you everything, we'll show you.
In this video, we're going to show you how to make two different types of bread from scratch. First, we'll be making a classic bread, which is a regular white flour loaf, and we're going to walk you through the process of making this loaf step by step. This time, we'll also be making a sandwich loaf, which is a high-protein bread packed with nutritious seeds. This is the other type of white bread, the normal classic version, and we'll be showing you exactly how to make it at home so you can enjoy fresh homemade bread whenever you like.
What is sourdough starter?
It is natural yeast.
Of course, it's super nutritious.
It lowers the glycemic index.
When you eat it, you don't get heartburn from that.
Bread. It's not heavy on the stomach,
No reflux.
as long as the processes and times are respected. Making bread truly requires patience. That is sourdough bread.
To make sourdough starter, you really only need just two ingredients, patience and a little bit of love.
Okay, what?
Ingredients.
The ingredients are flour and water.
Here on the screen, you are seeing how the daily growth of the sourdough starter is, right? How it grows day by day, how it evolves.
We'll start with 1 tablespoon of flour with 1 tablespoon of water. This is the first day. Here we're going to mix and try to get a consistency like a paste. Remember that each type of flour absorbs differently. This is the consistency. I use a jar that has a lid. We place it to rest at room temperature for 24 hours so that the bacteria and the yeast start to work. Remember that there is activity here. Look, this is more or less the consistency it should have.
And what will happen on the
Second day. On the second day, you will actually see some little bubbles starting to appear.
maybe it might grow a little bit.
Yes, that's fine.
Sure, the bacteria are already starting to form there, right? Now on the second day, what should the person do?
We add to it. More flour. If you have a scale, you can work with weight. If not, we continue.
Back to the same amount.
Take 1 tablespoon of flour once again, and with this addition, it will be about 2 tablespoons of water in total.
The idea is to maintain the consistency of the dough that is being prepared.
The temperature should ideally be in the range of 26 to 30 degrees Celsius.
So after the second day happens, Elias, we move on to the third day.
Yes, here we're going to let it rest.
The total of 24 hours.
And here we are going to discard half.
The next day, it's ready now. Put it here for me, please. On the third day, you will see these bubbles like this. And now the sourdough starter has grown. It has doubled in size. Look, so what are you going to do? Discard a portion
Throw out half.
and add back in the same amount you threw out, substituting it with fresh flour and water. That's called feeding the sourdough starter
Or refreshing.
or refreshing.
If you actually want a whole wheat starter, well, you can definitely start it yourself with whole wheat flour, and it's much better.
Which in fact, Elias, is preferable.
These have traces of whole wheat flour as well as rye flour, which is actually what I started it with, by the way. And you can work it for 7 days with the rye flour. Remember, it will need more water because it's a purer flour.
And you'll notice that on the third day, right? A very strong, very sour smell in the starter. Don't worry. And you'll also notice that the starter sometimes separates the water from the dough itself.
It drains the water.
It drains the water, so nothing has happened. Pour out that little bit of water, otherwise keep adding, keep going and feeding and refreshing the dough. But it's something very important to understand that this is a healthy product for the body. What's important is determining that the dough is at its peak to be able to use it. Like those bubbles forming. It's important to use filtered water. Water is super important. If you're going to use tap water, it has chlorine.
Not recommended.
So the recommendation is not to use it because otherwise you'd have to leave it out for 1 or 2 days so the chlorine evaporates and you can make the starter. What happens? The chlorine kills the bacteria and by the time you realize it, the starter hasn't grown.
Didn't grow.
And what do we have? Nothing. But to prepare it, first of all, we're going to start preparing the bread.
The classic bread, the flour dough, this is more or less a strong flour.
Here we're going to teach you the technique of how to make it. You don't need a machine for that. You can do it at home by hand and with the exact proportions.
This is our classic white bread made with baker's flour, strong flour. For this there are 500 grams here. And we need 350 grams of water. For this we need 150 grams of active sourdough starter. Here we're going to carefully pour it in, see? And now, at this stage, we have to thoroughly combine all of the ingredients together so that absolutely no lumps remain at all. And this part is called rest and fold, which means you let it sit for a bit, then gently fold the mixture over itself and repeat that process.
The idea of preparing the starter is so that you have it constantly. When you're going to make bread, you can keep it in the fridge and it will be like going to sleep. The bacteria and the yeast are going to go to sleep at a temperature between 4 or 5 degrees. When you're going to use it, you just take it out, refresh it, do the same refreshing we did by adding flour and water. And you make it again and wait 3 or 4 hours to see how the growth is going. You place it outside so you can see how it's growing. And in 3 or 4 hours, it's already grown, the sourdough starter is active. That means you can already make bread. You don't have to wait the 7 days for the bread making process.
Exactly.
Because the 7 days are taken into account for...
To create it.
To create all of that, it takes all of the yeast that is necessary in order to generate the bread.
Okay, we've mixed everything here. Let's let it rest. In the meantime, we'll start making the other one. And now I'm going to, okay, for this one. I'll explain.
Tell him.
Dried fruits, well, we really have to hydrate them first. We cover them up and then you mix them in later. And that's totally fine. That's absolutely fine. So, what happens? These dried fruits, if I put them directly into the dough, they'll actually absorb the water from the bread itself. So, I hydrate them. Look, here we mix like this with our hands. After we carefully strain the mixture, we make sure to add in only the dried fruits as well as the seeds, leaving out everything else. The yogurt, which is 150 grams of yogurt, is actually sugar-free yogurt, just plain, and we're going to mix it in now. This one, since it has rye or whole wheat flour, you'll probably notice it's a bit drier, but we'll let it rest here for a while. Let's go back to that dough for a moment. We need to add the salt and continue kneading the dough thoroughly, making folds as we go.
Stretch and fold.
Stretch and fold. And here remember that we're mixing the salt. We're not making the folds yet.
When do we know it's ready, Eli?
Once we touch it and nothing sticks to our hand here, and the gluten is already developed.
Storage method always recommended. Once you make the bread, you freeze it.
Ready, you slice it. You place a paper between each slice. You freeze it. When you want to eat, you open it, take out your paper. We continue, we're going to do the same from the outside to the center, from the outside to the center. We're going to take it out of the bowl and start giving it the folds and the rest.
Perfect, absolutely bravo, really, how nice.
This dough needs more, obviously. Pass me this one. We're going to do this one here like this. And we're going to let it drop if it lets us.
The difference is this bread, which is almost ready, the texture compared to this one, which I'm about to start shaping.
I'm going to show you the way to look, either kneading or developing the gluten. We lift it, we turn it 90 degrees. That's the Bertinet method, which is a well-known technique for working with dough. A kind of kneading with resting periods.
Show the texture of both, Elias, so people can see.
Yes, I'm on it.
Look. How many times do you have to do that?
No, this is until it develops well and we have a dough. When the dough is shiny, it's ready.
Look at the mixture. Put me up here, Camilla. Can you see it?
Okay.
Let people see this bread.
Give me the rack.
Look, you know, I just cannot take it out right now because it's...
We're going to add these dried fruits. What we have to do is integrate these fruits. This is all going to fall apart, don't be afraid. Patience, let's go. Tucking it in?
Sure. This bread we're making today, ideally, how long should it rest, Elias?
This at least before putting it in. In the fridge, you have to leave it out for 3 hours at room temperature so it rises. Then we shape it and we store it in the basket, either in the basket or like this, and we put it in the cold all night, and tomorrow is when we'll bake our bread.
So the ideal is to bake it the next day.
Or that's the ideal.
Why?
Up to 48 and 24 hours if you want, depending on the type of flour.
Why? Explain it there.
So that the dough or the piece can slowly mature in the cold environment.
Okay, that's what they call resting.
A period of cold resting.
And fermentation?
And slow, patient fermentation. We don't need a fast bread. We want a natural, flavorful loaf. So this is where we pick it back up and then we go back to... Look, what you're going to do is, I'm going to show you how to carefully shape it so that it fits just right. We're going to give it some tension here. Then we're going to fold it inward. Put your finger there and fold it inward again. If it's strong flour, we won't tension it much. If the flour isn't strong, then we will tension it. Here we go, placing our finger here so it doesn't like this, and like this. And we're going to let it rest now. This will let the dough rest for about 3 hours before we shape it. We add enough flour so that it doesn't stick to us. And what do? We'll leave it with this side facing down on the surface.
Why?
Well, so that it doesn't form a crust. It doesn't matter if the bottom gets a crust. Now it's in there, we can cover it, and little one, we'll let it rest here at 28, 30 degrees.
Room temperature?
90 degrees, huh? It's better now. It still breaks when we try to use it, but at this point we just have to wait patiently for it to knead itself and come together properly. Well, so the bowl actually creates a steam chamber. And we really need the bread when it goes in the oven. When it goes in the oven to rise up quickly.
Okay, right?
Okay, we cut it like this. We make a careful cut just like this. Now, into the pot it goes. All right, let's go ahead with the paper next. So it creates steam inside. Well,
let's go to the oven.
Yep.
Follow me.
That way then. Open the door.
Carefully, this is heavy. Here it is, right here for you.
We don't need anything here. We're just gonna cut it. The cut.
Ready. Let's go inside, Elias.
Well, first things first, let's go now.
Now we're going to prepare here, Elias.
Let's show them how it's going.
Look, absolutely beautiful.
This seed bread with yogurt, cranberries, and golden raisins is ready. Let's take it out now. We need to take it out at this moment because we need it to cool down properly before we do anything else with it.
To
cool down.
Cool down.
Look at how it is. I'm taking it out, but I don't want bits of bread to fall here into my dough. Let's remove this dough from here. Let's put it in.
Look at that, the paper didn't seem to work well.
No, that paper is
a new industrial paper we got here. But anyway, it doesn't matter because when we go to slice it, it's not ready yet. It's still gummy. You hear, Elias?
It still is, of course, because it's hot.
See how show it here in front. Are we in front?
Yes,
Look how the other one turned out.
it's good. Let's see. It's still hot.
Wow, look at this beauty. Look at the steam.
The chunks.
Leave it.
Ah, thanks. Sorry, management.
See how it turned out. See the little holes Elias is talking about, the alveoli. Show them, Elias, with your finger. Point to them.
Once I can see them, then
There's actually one.
this one, these.
These.
And how good it smells, see?
No, it's wonderful.
My God, I can't help myself. Wow.
How is it? You can see it.
Tie yourself up.
The air pockets are incredible. This bread, look, I want you to see it. He's my older brother, Elias. He's the creator of the recipe you saw recently called Layali Lubnan. Improved. Okay, let's taste it. How is it? Wow!
Here. You can't keep slicing that, man. Toast it.
Let it rest there. Let's slice the other one. Listen to that sound, my God. Of course.
Don't break.
These are the alveoli.
This is what we're looking for.
This is what we're after.
With the folds, we want this.
See? And temperature.
But this is actually pure carbon dioxide gas that is trapped inside of the dough, which is what makes it expand and rise.
Okay? Alright, share this video and we'll see you in the next episode of Brothers on Fire.
See you soon.
Roll it, scene it. Bye. See you in the next Brothers on Fire show, and write to us below if you liked it or not. Share this video, and we'll see you in the next episode of Brothers on Fire. Roll it, scene it.